Greetings, Omprakash Partners. This video is made with the purpose of showing you how to conduct a self-audit of your Omprakash profile. Whether your goals include recruiting volunteers or presenting your work to potential donors, ensuring that your profile is appealing, timely, and relevant is crucial. I'm going to show you how to take a look at all of your public Omprakash pages so that you can make sure that you're representing your work in the most accurate and compelling way possible. This will include a review of how you show up on our search page, as well as taking a closer look at your main profile pages, such as your donate page and any active fundraising campaigns, and more. After reviewing these public pages, we'll then take a quick look at the partner dashboard to show you how you can edit each of those pages individually and make sure that you are taking advantage of everything that we have to offer. From the Omprakash main page, there's actually two ways to access the partner network. The first one is to scroll down, and here under Global Partners to explore, we currently have 292 partners. If we scroll down a little bit more, we can click Search All Partners. This takes us to search our network. However, from the main page, we can also go to Engage Globally and select Volunteer or Intern with our partners. This is the most common way that donors or potential volunteers would look for organizations or job postings. The reason that we're going to start at the search page is because it's possible that this is the first place somebody would look when trying to find an organization like yours. So it's a useful exercise to pretend you're a prospective donor or volunteer searching for organizations and to see how your organization would appear to such a person. By the way, this is also a great way to learn more about other Omprakash partners and perhaps to take some inspiration from the way that they are using our platform. Before we go any further, I do just want to show you that at all times, there is the Google Translate function up here. So if you wanted to translate the entire web page to your preferred language, that is absolutely something you can do at any point in time. Now, looking at our searching the network function, we actually have two main ways that we differentiate this. The first one is that we can search by partners. So at present, just by scrolling, I'll be able to see all of the current Omprakash partners. However, we can also search by positions. So as a prospective volunteer, this might be something that I'm more interested in. I might be looking at a specific type of work. We can then get into a little bit more specific details. We have certain filters up here, such as region, country, theme, online, or in-person positions. Theme relates to the kind of work that your organization does. It's very important that within your partner profile, you have the correct theme selected so that any prospective donors or volunteers can find you based on the type of work that you do. Let's say that I am a volunteer and I am looking for something in environment. So currently, here in my filter, I have environment selected and I'm specifically looking at positions. And next, if I want, I am looking for in-person opportunities. So I have selected environment and in-person. Now I'll be able to see all of the positions that are available. There's actually quite a lot, so maybe I might want to filter this down a little bit more and select a specific country. One thing that I would like to show you is one of our partners who have given permission to use their profile for this video. Voluntario Global actually has quite a few different volunteer positions available. So when I search for this organization, even with everything else removed, I'll be able to see their volunteer positions. And one of the main things that I can see is that they offer both online opportunities for volunteers and in-person opportunities. Additionally, I can actually see that all of the volunteer positions are very unique with clear titles for those positions. This is very important that when you are posting volunteer positions, based on the title, it should be evident as to what kind of work they will be engaging in. Now, we can also switch this view into partners, and I will search for the same organization. And the very first thing I'll see is just kind of a quick little snapshot. From this, I should be able to see quite a bit of information. So I can see the title, their location, I can see their mission statement, open positions, as well as some of the themes that they engage in. Another thing I would like to point out is that the logo is clear. It fits within that circular structure and it is specific to the organization. I strongly encourage you to make sure you double check what your image or logo is showing up as sometimes the images do not translate very well. They get cropped or cut within that circle frame. And so it's important to make sure that everything looks neat and is relevant and visually appealing. Now, I'm going to click on the organization to actually take a look at their profile now. This is the very first thing you will see when you click on an organization. There's two important things that I would like you to notice. In the top right-hand corner, there is the option to apply to work with us. So this is where volunteers would go. And then there's also the donate option. These are two of some of the main functionalities that most partners engage in. And so we have made them easy to spot, easy to identify, and we can take a look at both of these right now. If a prospective donor would like to donate money, they can click Donate Now. This will open a new link and you'll be able to see they can choose the donation amount, they'll be able to choose the method and how they would like to make their donation and fill out any relevant information. If you go to Overview, you'll also be able to see how the organization has spent the money. This promotes transparency, and we always encourage our partners to keep this up to date. This information is public. However, in your dashboard, you do have an option to make this private. We generally do encourage you to keep this information public just to encourage transparency. And donors can request to be anonymous if they do not want their information displayed publicly. The wonderful thing about sharing your reported expenditures is that any prospective donors can see where their money is going, how it is being spent, and how it is furthering the mission of your organization. Something else that I would briefly like to show is another organization that has wonderful crowdfunding campaigns. And so again, if I click Donate Now, and I click on Overview, I'll be able to see current campaigns that are running. Not only will you have the general donate function of your Omprakash webpage, you can also start campaigns at any point in time for specific projects and to reach specific goals. These will have campaign goals, which is a specific amount that you are aiming to reach. It should have some information about what the campaign is for, and these are able to be included at any point in time. If we take a look at one of these campaigns and I select Donate Now, I'll be able to see again that information. And here the donors have chosen to be anonymous. We can see how much their goal is, how much they have raised, and a little bit more about that campaign. And again, the rest of the page will look very similar to your standard donation page. So that was your donate page. Now, the other option is for volunteers who would be interested in working with you. However, before a volunteer would decide to work with your organization, they might want to take a look at your webpage and see what kind of information they can find in order to know if it's a good fit or not. So for now, let's take a look and explore the Omprakash webpage. I'm going to go back to Voluntariat Global for now. And here I can see they have a mission statement. It's clear, it's effective. We recommend that your mission statements, because it's the very first thing that anybody would see when they open your webpage, is approximately 3 to 4 sentences long. You don't want it to be too short and too small so that it doesn't differentiate you from other organizations, but you also do not want it to be all-encompassing and extremely wordy and lengthy, as you'll be able to talk about specific projects your organization does in one of the subpages called Current Projects. So first, I can see that their mission statement is here. They also have a video, which is fantastic. If you have any videos of the work that your organization is doing, we always encourage you to include that. I can see that they have multiple themes. So they do health and wellness, environment, education, economic development, rights and advocacy, and arts and culture. I can see the year they were founded, the year they joined, how much they have raised through Omprakash. And then if I scroll further, I can see some of the volunteer and internship opportunities starting to be visible. And here we can see internship details. So it's important that if you are planning on recruiting volunteers, that you provide sufficient information in internship details so that volunteers know how would they be coming to your organization, what kind of information do they need to know, what airport are they flying into, what are the visa requirements, what is the living situation like. So you'll be able to provide information here, such as description of accommodations. You can discuss the travel logistics and how they would get there, as well as the average daily cost and what that includes. One thing I do want to point out is be very careful when you are copying and pasting information into your profile, simply because copying and pasting can result in some formatting errors that will result in symbols. So whenever you update your dashboard, which I will show you later in this video, it's very important that you then go into the public facing side of your profile to ensure that everything is formatted correctly. Down here later in the webpage, you'll be able to see again that donation option where you can see how much has been raised, their reported expenditures, and again, that option to donate now. And the very last thing on this very first page is our voice. So this is any blogs, any work that you would like to share. Maybe some volunteers would be writing on your behalf, but this is a way for you to engage and share information with anybody who is interested in reading it. Now up here in current projects, you would want to list specific projects that you are currently working on. So they have the specifics and they are linked to their websites. However, we generally also encourage you to provide specific information so everything is in one place. And as a volunteer, you would be able to find that information here easily. Then you'll be able to share information about your team, as well as provide a bio or a description of your director. And finally, under positions, you'll be able to see all the various volunteer positions. So if I click apply to work with us, it will take me to a new page in which I can select the position that I'm interested in applying for. Let's say I would like to be a volunteer English teacher. It'll show me the description that has been posted. It has my information, and then I'll be able to answer the questions, begin the application process, and submit. Then this information will be visible on your side from the partner dashboard, and you'll be able to engage or interact with potential volunteers, approve or reject any applications. So with that, we are currently wrapping up the public facing side of your profile. Now, it's important for us to take a look at your dashboard. Your dashboard is where you edit your profile and make any necessary changes. It's where you can create volunteer positions, manage applications, see past donations, and request balance transfers and more. So the very first thing I'm going to do is actually just log out of my private account. Now, in order for you to access your dashboard, there's this little lock right here in the right-hand corner. You're going to click Login. I'm going to log in with our test partner. And welcome to the partner dashboard. You're going to notice that you have a few different options up top here. The very first one is Overview and Profile Editor. This is where a lot of the main changes would be done to your main page. So here we would be able to update our mission statement. We'll be able to update our location. We can change the image that appears within that circle that I showed you for Voluntariado Global. We can discuss current projects, add any social media, provide director bios. But this would be the page where a lot of that information gets updated, including any emails you want associated with your organization. So whenever you have staff changes or anybody else joining you or leaving, this would be the place that you go to update those primary, secondary, and tertiary email addresses. So that is a change that you can make at any point in time. Now, let's say that you are interested in creating a position or an application. So here, you would actually go and you are able to add new volunteer positions. So this is where you go to create those volunteer positions at first go. However, if you have positions already posted and you would like to manage them, you would go to Volunteer Manager. and you will be able to see any volunteers or any prospective volunteers who have applied to work with your organization. You will be able to view and you can see where you are in that stage. You can communicate with the volunteer. You can see applicant details and so forth. So I'm just going to go to Overview Profile Editor quickly again. I do want to point out that there are very convenient tabs here, which will take you down to the relevant portion of the page. So you don't necessarily have to scroll down. You can just click Team. It will take you to the Team section, and you can update any of that information as you see fit. Additionally, finances at crowdfunding. This is where you would go if you want to find information about any donations that have been made, or if you would like to start a crowdfunding campaign. So at any point, you can go here and create campaign. Now, the very last thing that I want to show you is this last option, which is partnership support. This is where you would go if you need access to grant databases. Omprakash is actually subscribed to 3 databases of funders and grant opportunities. And so at any point in time, you can request access. You will receive an email that is automatically sent to your email address, which will contain the login information. Additionally, you can request a fiscal sponsorship letter at any point in time. And should you be having any technical issues, please feel free to report an issue to us. Now, this was a brief overview, but should you have any further questions, concerns, or need help with your Omprakash dashboard or profile, please do not hesitate to reach out.